In this video, we're going to go through 70 patterns where the player has to run the balls in order. Each pattern will have a timer, so you're going to have a limited time to figure out each run out. We'll start with 3-ball patterns and work our way up to 6-ball patterns. Several patterns will have blocker balls, which will increase the difficulty of the run out. In the previous video, we went through several 8-ball patterns along with going over a few professional 8-ball games. We also covered several tips you can use to increase your ability to run out 8-ball patterns, and many of these tips will also help your 9-ball runouts, so it may be beneficial to check out this video also. But here are a couple quick tips to help you before you begin the video. When choosing patterns, always look for the largest position window. For instance, in this layout I can play shape for the corner or side pocket for the 2-ball. If I play shape for the 2-ball in the side pocket, my position window is very small. Ending up a bit short or a bit too long will leave me at an awkward angle. If I play shape for the corner pocket, my position window starts to open up. I don't have to be quite as accurate with my speed control. When possible, you want to send the cue ball toward the next ball at the correct angle. In this situation, I can play the 1-ball and play for an angle on the 2-ball that will send the cue ball toward my position area for the 3-ball. But almost the entire path of the cue ball is in the danger area, so my speed control would have to be very good. A better option is to play position on the 2-ball here, which gives me an angle on the 2-ball that I can use to send the cue ball toward the 3-ball at the correct angle. This option doesn't require precise speed control, so underhitting the shot still leaves the cue ball at the correct angle on the 3-ball. When choosing angles, try to choose an angle that is going to help move the cue ball to the next location. In this simple pattern, I'm going to pocket the 1-ball and create an angle on the 2-ball that will send the cue ball toward my position area. Because of the blocker balls, I'll have to go 1 rail for my shape on the 3-ball. When creating my angle on the 2-ball, I'm going to create an angle that's going to help move the cue ball toward my position area. For instance, at this angle, I can softly roll in the 2-ball and the cue ball floats toward my position area with very little effort. Now I'm going to flatten my angle in the 2-ball. At this angle, if I use the same speed as my previous shot, we can see that the cue ball has very little speed coming off the end rail, since we're now hitting more of the 2-ball. So when picking position areas for your cue ball in the upcoming video, be very specific about the exact location of your cue ball. As we can see from this example, the difference of a couple inches in cue ball position changes the shot from a soft rolling shot to a shot that requires more stroke to reach the position area. Here's another example where the angle does all the work for me as far as moving the cue ball to my position area. Now I'm going to flatten the angle and shoot the cue ball at the same speed, which results in a very different outcome. So at this angle, I'm going to have to use more stroke, which makes it a little more difficult to reach my position area. And if you set up shots like this on your own table, you're going to discover that you're more likely to hit your target on the second side rail at this angle on the object ball. Once you flatten the angle, it's a bit more difficult to control the exact path and speed of the cue ball. In the next video, I'm going to examine a 10-ball match between 2 world champions. I'm going to break down each game shot by shot. We're really going to examine how the elite players use angles to move the cue ball around the table. And I'm also going to dispel a common myth that professionals rarely get out of line. The truth is, professionals usually get out of line at least once per game. But it's their knowledge of shots and their ability to execute these shots when the time comes that allows them to complete their runouts. This will be an important video to watch, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. In these timed 9-ball patterns, it's all about seeing the pocket lines and placing the cue ball on the proper side of these lines to move it from ball to ball. Each pattern will have a difficulty and skill level. The difficulty level refers to how easy or hard the pattern is to figure out. For instance, in this layout, it's fairly easy to figure out the pattern. We can shoot the 1 ball in either corner pocket and play the 2 ball in the side pocket, then the 3 ball in the corner pocket. When determining the best pattern, don't just pick the pockets for each ball. Try to be extremely precise in your cue ball positioning. Each pattern will also have blocker balls. You will have to shoot the patterns around these balls, but you are allowed to contact them within your run. The skill level refers to the degree of skill needed to actually perform the run out. This pattern is fairly simple, so it receives a skill level of 1. So let's begin with the first pattern. In this pattern, it's all about creating a rolling angle on the 2 ball. For instance, if I pocket the 1 ball and end up here, it won't take much to roll in the 2 ball, and the cue ball will naturally head to the other side rail for shaping the 3 ball. But if I end up at this angle, it would take a little more work to get to my position on the 3 ball. So when shooting the 1 ball, the goal is to create a nice angle on the 2 ball. In this pattern, I need to determine the best way to get from the 2 ball to the 3 ball. Whenever you have to travel several feet for position, it's always a good idea to check the tangent line of the object ball. For instance, if I pocket the 2 ball in the corner pocket with a sliding cue ball, the cue ball will naturally travel toward the other half of the table. So the goal in this pattern is to pocket the 1 ball and end up in this area for the 2 ball. Once I'm here, I know a sliding cue ball travels in this direction. In this pattern, I need to create the ideal angle in the 2 ball, which will help send the cue ball toward the side rail for shaping the 3 ball. So before shooting the 1 ball, I'm going to study the angle from the side rail and make a note as to which number I need to send the cue ball toward. At this angle, a rolling shot with right spin will send the cue ball to the target area. So if I make the corner pocket 0, then I would send the cue ball toward 15. It's important to remember that whenever you send the cue ball toward a rail, that you're always sending it toward a number. In this pattern, I'm limited to the top left corner pocket for the 3 ball, so I need to find the best way to get from the 2 ball to this area for the 3 ball. When I work with students, they will sometimes choose a position area for the 2 ball that requires excellent speed control. For instance, if I try to pocket the 1 ball and end up here at this angle, there is the danger of coming up short or going too far, or ending up here and using high action to send the cue ball to the side rail. The position area for this shot is very small. When determining position on object balls, try to find the position shot that offers the largest position window. So if I pocket the 1 ball and end up anywhere on this side of the pocket line, I can pocket the 2 ball and send the cue ball to the bottom side rail. In this pattern, I can pocket the 2 ball and play shape for the 3 ball in the corner pocket. But being off even a little bit creates a difficult shot, especially on a table with tight pockets. Instead, I'm going to create a nice rolling angle in the 2 ball that will send the cue ball to the top side rail for shape on the 3 ball for the side pocket. Before shooting the 1 ball, I'm really going to lock in the ideal angle I need for the 2 ball. In this pattern, position on the 3 ball has to be very precise. I could pocket the 1 ball and play shape for the 2 ball around here, which will allow me to roll in the 2 ball and send the cue ball to the position area. While this way will work, it's not ideal since we're playing shape into an open area. Our speed control would have to be very precise. A better option is to play shape for a 2 rail position shot. So before shooting the 1 ball, I'm going to spend a few seconds finding the ideal angle on the 2 ball. Before shooting the 2 ball, pick a number on the top side rail to send the cue ball toward. Right around the 3rd diamond should give me the position I'm going to need for the 3 ball. It's important to remember that before shooting shots like this that you always have a target to send the cue ball toward on the rail. In this pattern, the key is getting from the 1 ball to the 2 ball. The 3 options are going 1 rail this way, or 1 rail this way, or going 3 rails. The 1 rail option is a bit of a blind shot, so it requires speed and accuracy to end up in the position area. The 2 rail option is a good option, but the option I'm going to be using is the stun shot. The advantage of this shot is that you can see the position area in your line of sight when you're down on the shot. When placing the cue ball on the 1 ball, the goal is to create an angle that will help move the cue ball to the other half of the table. In this pattern, the goal is to create an angle in the 2 ball that will send the cue ball toward the bottom side rail for shaping the 3 ball. In this scenario, I could stun the cue ball toward this position area, or I can go 2 rails. The advantage of the 2 rail shot is that the cue ball will be traveling toward the 2 ball after it leaves the rail, as opposed to the stun shot where the cue ball will be heading toward the end rail. In this pattern, I need to create an angle in the 2 ball that will send the cue ball 2 rails toward the 3 ball. When shooting the 1 ball, I'm really going to lock down my angle in the 2 ball before shooting the 1 ball. Ending up a little flat on the 2 ball will make it more difficult to get on the 3 ball. At this angle, the cue ball will naturally travel toward the 3 ball. The key to this pattern is ending up on or close to the 2 ball pocket line. I could travel this way, but almost the entire cue ball path is in the danger area. Instead, I'll put the cue ball over here and send the cue ball 2 rails toward the 2 ball. When shooting the shot, it's important that I really take my time. The cue ball path is dependent upon how much of the 1 ball I hit. In this pattern, the key is creating a nice rolling angle in the 2 ball to go 2 rails for the 3 ball. For instance, ending up here in the 2 ball is ideal since it requires a soft stroke with a touch of right spin. Now if I end up here, I can no longer softly roll in the 2 ball. I have to use a stun shot, which requires a bit more skill to strike my number on the bottom side rail. In this pattern, I need to create a nice rolling angle in the 2 ball to send the cue ball 2 rails for a position on the 3 ball. Once again, we're looking for a rolling angle, not a stun angle. The 2 best options are putting the cue ball here and rolling forward into our position area. The other option, and the one I'm going to be using, is to place the cue ball here and draw back. Either option is fine. The goal is to make sure you end up at the proper angle. From here, it won't take much to roll in the 2 ball with the right spin, sending the cue ball to the top side rail. In this pattern, the key is getting from the 2 ball to the 3 ball. I could go 2 rails, but the cue ball may strike the blocker ball. Instead, I'm going to create an angle on the 2 ball that will send the cue ball toward my position area. When creating angles like this, it's important that you create an angle that will do most of the work as far as moving the cue ball to the other half of the table. So before shooting the 1 ball, I'm going to really lock down the angle I need on the 2 ball. Right around here should be fine. Ending up flatter means the shot will require more stroke, which makes it a little more difficult to be precise with our cue ball speed. When top players choose angles on their next ball, being off even a little bit on their chosen angle would change the type of shot they'll need to perform on the next ball. In this pattern, the key is getting from the 2 ball to the 3 ball. One option is to play a stop shot on the 1 ball and go 3 rails for position. This isn't a bad option, but I would have to make sure I don't strike the blocker ball. The option I'll be performing is to pocket the 1 ball and send the cue ball off the end rail. So when I pocket the 1 ball, I'm not going to just blindly send the cue ball to the rail. I'm going to pick a number to send the cue ball toward, which in this case is between the first and second diamond, or 15. Now I can softly pocket the 2 ball and the cue ball will naturally travel to the other end rail for shaping the 3 ball. In this layout, I could play for a high angle on the 2 ball, but if my speed isn't quite right, I could end up snookered behind the blocker ball. Instead, I'm going to send the cue ball to the end rail. When I send the cue ball to the end rail, I'm going to create a rolling angle on the 1 ball instead of a stun angle. So this would be a stun angle on the 1 ball, and this would be a rolling angle. And here's the difference between the two. At this angle, I'm hitting less of the 1 ball, so I can use a nice soft rolling shot to get my shape on the 2 ball. At this angle, the cue ball is striking more of the 1 ball, which means the object ball is absorbing a lot of the cue ball's speed. So this shot requires more of a stroke. When I shoot the 1 ball, I'm going to place the cue ball here at this angle, which means all I need is a soft rolling shot. At this angle, I use a slight stun shot to send the cue ball between the second and third diamond on the side rail for shaping the 3 ball. In this pattern, the key is using high action to hit my number on the end rail. This type of shot requires practice to develop an eye for what angle you're going to need on the 1 ball to strike the correct number on the end rail. The goal on this shot is to come off the rail a little bit to create an angle on the 2 ball that I can use to get on the 3 ball. In this pattern, the key is getting to this side of the 2-ball pocket line. The easiest way to do that from the 1 ball is to place the cue ball here. At this angle, a soft rolling shot with a touch of right spin will send the cue ball to the top side rail. When shooting shots like this, it's important to give yourself a target on the top side rail. The target will usually be very close to where the pocket line meets the rail. So in this case, the second diamond. In this pattern, I can roll forward and play position on the 2 ball to roll forward toward the bottom side rail for position on the 3 ball. The danger in playing position on the 2 ball this way is that if I end up an inch short or I go an inch too far, I'm going to be left with an awkward angle. Instead, I'm going to roll forward and use the tangent line of the 2 ball to send the cue ball toward the 3 ball. Playing the shot this way gives me a larger position window. The key to this pattern is ending up near the bottom side rail, giving me a nice rolling angle to send the cue ball to the end rail for shaping the 3 ball. In this pattern, there are 2 good options available to get from the 2 ball to the 3 ball. I could play shape here and roll in the 2 ball with right spin, sending the cue ball to the top side rail. The other option, and the one I'm going to be using, is to pocket the 1 ball and send the cue ball to the end rail and toward the 2 ball. By playing the shot this way, I'll be traveling toward the 2 ball at the correct angle. The position window on this type of shot is very large. In this pattern, the issue is getting from the 2 ball to the 3 ball. If I can place the cue ball here at this angle, it won't take much effort to pocket the 2 ball and send the cue ball to the other half of the table for shape on the 3 ball. In order to get this angle on the 2 ball, I'm going to place the cue ball here, which will allow me to softly roll in the 1 ball, sending the cue ball 3 rails for shape on the 2 ball. In this first 4-ball pattern, the key is creating an angle in the 3-ball that will send the cue ball to the bottom side rail for shaping the 4-ball. When I shoot the 1-ball, I need the cue ball on or above the 2-ball pocket line. That way I can pocket the 2-ball and send the cue ball forward, crossing the 3-ball pocket line. When shooting shots like this, it's important you send the cue ball toward a specific number on the side rail. The key to this pattern is creating an angle in the 3-ball that I can use to get on the 4-ball. One option is to end up near the 3-ball pocket line from the 2-ball and draw the cue ball back. The problem with this is that if the cue ball ends up going a couple inches too far or ends up a couple inches too short, I'm going to be left with an awkward angle. A better option is to create an angle around here where I can send the cue ball 4 rails for position. Playing shape this way gives me a much larger position window. In this pattern, I can play shape for a straight-in shot on the 3-ball and just draw the cue ball back for shaping the 4-ball. But ending up a little short or a little long of my position area for the 3-ball will leave me at an awkward angle. A slightly better option is to create an angle on the 2-ball that will send the cue ball to the middle of the table. At this angle, I'll send the cue ball 2 rails for shaping the 4-ball. When shooting this shot, I'll pick a number target on the top side rail to send the cue ball toward, so in this case I would send it to the second diamond. In this pattern, I need to create an angle in the 2-ball that will send the cue ball 3 rails for shaping the 3-ball. An angle like this will send the cue ball toward the end rail with just a rolling cue ball. The goal when shooting the 2-ball is to end up on the right side of the 3-ball pocket line. At this angle, I can stun the cue ball off the top side rail for shaping the 4-ball. In this pattern, the key is landing the cue ball on or near the 2-ball pocket line for the bottom left corner pocket. When I shoot the 1 ball, I'm going to use low left to send the cue ball toward the 3rd diamond on the side rail. If the cue ball strikes the rail near the 3rd diamond, I should end up on or near the 2-ball pocket line. When shooting the 2-ball, I need to create a rolling angle in the 3-ball that will send the cue ball 2 rails for shaping the 4-ball. In this pattern, I have a problem ball with the 3-ball. The goal in this pattern is to create an angle on the 2-ball that will send the cue ball 3 rails toward the 3-ball. Since I'll be traveling 3 rails toward the 3-ball, I need to be extremely precise with the angle I choose for the 2-ball. For instance, ending up here will make it very difficult to go 3 rails toward the 3-ball. Right around here is the natural angle to send the cue ball to the 3-ball. In this pattern, the goal is getting from the 3-ball to the 4-ball. I could end up here on the 2-ball and try to land just on the other side of the 3-ball pocket line, but the speed will have to be extremely precise. The other option, the one I'll be using, is to pocket the 1-ball and end up near the end rail. From here, I'll roll in the 2-ball, sending the cue ball 3 rails for an angle on the 3-ball. In this pattern, I need to create an angle on the 2-ball that we can use to get on the 3-ball. When shooting the 1-ball, I'm going to give myself an angle that will do most of the work as far as moving the cue ball toward the other end rail. If I had ended up with more angle on the 2-ball, I could have rolled in the 2-ball and sent the cue ball into this area for the 3-ball. At this angle, I can go 3 rails for a position on the 3-ball. The goal in this shot is to end up above the 3-ball pocket line. In this pattern, the 3 ball is in a difficult position next to the blocker ball. If I can pocket the 1 ball and cross the 2 ball pocket line, I can softly roll in the 2 ball and the cue ball should cross the 3 ball pocket line. In this pattern, the goal when shooting the 1 ball is to create an angle on the 2 ball that I can use to go 3 rails for the 3 ball. At this angle, I should be able to send the cue ball toward the second diamond on the top side rail. Once I end up at this angle, it won't take much to roll in the 3 ball and the cue ball will be sent to the top side rail for shaping the 4 ball. In this pattern, getting from the 2 ball to the 3 ball will be a bit tricky. The key is to be very precise as to what angle I choose on the 2 ball. At this angle, I can send the cue ball 3 rails for shape on the 3 ball. Once I'm on the 3 ball, I'll have the angle I need to get on the 4 ball. In this pattern, I need to create an angle on the 3 ball that I can use to go 3 rails for the 4 ball, which is restricted to the bottom left corner pocket. When I play shape for the 2 ball, I'll play for a high angle which will allow me to roll in the 2 ball and send it to the middle of the table. The goal in this shot is to make sure I stay above the 3 ball pocket line. At this angle, I can send the cue ball 3 rails toward the top side rail. In this pattern, the key is getting from the 2 ball to the 3 ball. If I can end up on the right side of the 2 ball pocket line, I can stun the cue ball over to the side rail. Here is the first 5-ball pattern. In this pattern, my goal is to create a rolling angle in the 3-ball that will send the cue ball 2 rails for position on the 4-ball. When shooting the 3-ball, my goal is to land the cue ball on or just above the 4-ball pocket line. In this pattern, I could pocket the 1 and 2 and end up here on the 3-ball to roll forward for the 4 in the corner or side pocket. But if I play position for the 3-ball this way, ending up an inch too short or going a couple inches too far will leave me at an awkward angle. Instead, I'm going to play for the larger position window on the 3-ball and use the tangent line to send the cue ball across the 4-ball pocket line. In this pattern, I have 2 issues, getting from the 2-ball to the 3-ball and getting from the 4 to the 5. If I can end up here on the 2-ball, it won't take much to roll in the 2-ball and send the cue ball to the side rail. When I shoot the 2-ball, my goal is to land the cue ball near the side rail to give me an angle in the 3-ball that will send the cue ball to the top side rail. From here, I'll send the cue ball 3 or 4 rails for my position on the 5-ball. In this pattern, when I shoot the 1, 2, and 3 ball, my focus is to end up here on the 4 ball. Once I'm here, it won't take much to softly roll in the 4 ball and obtain my position for the 5 ball. So when I shoot the 1 and 2 ball, my goal is to end up near the top side rail for shape on the 3 ball. In this pattern, I'll be creating a high angle in the 2 ball for position on the 3 ball. At this angle, I can roll in the 2 ball and send the cue ball toward the middle of the table. When I shoot the 3 ball, I'm going to roll forward, creating a nice rolling angle in the 4 ball to send the cue ball 2 rails for shape on the 5 ball. In this layout, the 4 ball is in a difficult position. When you have a problem ball like this, you need to be extremely precise in how you play position for the first 3 balls. So before shooting the 1 ball, I'm going to find the angle I need on the 2 ball to create a rolling angle that will send the cue ball to the end rail for the 3 ball. When shooting the 2 ball, my goal is to bounce off the end rail, creating a nice angle I can use to go 3 rails. In this pattern, it looks like I'll have to play the 5 ball in the top right corner pocket. When playing the 1 and 2 ball, my goal is to end up on the top side of the 3 ball pocket line. At this angle, I can pocket the 3 and end up short of the 4 ball pocket line. Now I can simply stun the cue ball over to the side rail for shape on the 5 ball. In this pattern, when I shoot the 1 and 2 ball, my goal is to end up straight in on the 3 ball, so I can roll forward crossing the 4 ball pocket line. Here I've ended up slightly above the 3 ball pocket line, so I'll need to use right spin when shooting the 3 ball. I've ended up a bit flat on this shot. The ideal angle would be right here, which would allow me to softly roll in the 4 ball and send the cue ball 2 rails for position. At the angle I ended up at, I'll have to use a stun shot, and if we look at the tangent line, the cue ball will be heading in this direction toward the top side rail. One rule of thumb to remember is that the angle the cue ball takes toward a rail will be similar to the angle leaving the rail if the cue ball is struck without side spin. Knowing this, I know that the natural angle will send the cue ball toward the corner pocket area. But if I strike the 4 ball with a touch of right spin, the cue ball's path will widen, sending it to the end rail for position on the 5 ball. In this pattern, my goal when shooting the 1 and 2 balls to end up above the 3 ball pocket line. From here I can create my angle on the 4 ball. I can either play shape for the corner pocket or I can send the cue ball 3 rails for the 5 ball in the side pocket. Playing shape for the side pocket means I'll have a very large position window when shooting the 4 ball. In this pattern I may have an issue getting from the 2 ball to the 3 ball. If I can end up around here, I'll have an angle that I can use to go 1 or 2 rails for position on the 3 ball. When I shoot the 2 ball, my goal is to stay above the 3 ball pocket line. This will allow me to roll in the 3 ball and stay to the left of the 4 ball pocket line. In this layout, I have an issue with the 4 ball. If I can end up here in the 3 ball, I can slide the cue ball over to the side rail for shape on the 4 ball. So when shooting the 1 ball, I need to create a nice angle on the 2 ball that I can use to stay above the 3 ball pocket line. I can play a stop shot on the 4 ball, but it's going to leave me a bit of a stretch shot. So I'm going to draw back to the middle of the table for shape. In this pattern, there's an issue getting from the 4 ball to the 5 ball. I could try to pocket the 3 ball and end up near the 4 ball pocket line and draw the cue ball back, but ending up an inch too far or too short will leave me at an awkward angle. If I can end up near the 3 ball pocket line, I can draw back a few inches, creating a 2 rail angle to get on the 5 ball. This is why it's so important to look at least 3 balls ahead when playing patterns. Now that I'm on the 3 ball, I can draw back a few inches, creating a nice angle on the 4 ball. Before shooting the 4 ball, I'm going to select the number I need to strike on the top side rail. This will give me a target to send the cue ball toward. In this layout, I need to end up around here in the 4 ball to send the cue ball to the top side rail for the 5 ball. When shooting the 2 ball, my goal is to end up above the 3 ball pocket line. From here I can draw back to the end rail, crossing the 4 ball pocket line. In this layout, the key is getting straight in on the 2 ball, which will leave me a stop shot for the 3 ball. In this layout, the key is creating an angle in the 4 ball that will send the cue ball around the blocker ball for the 5 in the side pocket. If I can end up here in the 3 ball, it won't take much to roll the cue ball into my position area for the 4 ball. Since I need the cue ball near the end rail for the 3 ball, when I shoot the 1 ball, I need to cross the 2 ball pocket line, which will give me the angle I need to send the cue ball toward my position area. I'll use a touch of right spin when shooting the 3 ball to help widen the cue ball's path off the cushion. In this layout, the key is getting on the 4 ball from the 3 ball. If I can pocket the 1 and 2 ball and end up around here for the 3 ball, it won't take much to pocket the 3 and go 2 rails for shape on the 4 ball. When I shoot the 2 ball, I need to go 2 rails toward the 3 ball at the correct angle. At this angle I can go 2 rails toward the 5 ball off the side rail. In this pattern, the only issue is getting from the 1 ball to the 2 ball. If I place the cue ball close to the 1 at this angle, it won't take much of a stroke to send the cue ball off the end rail and side rail. When shooting the 2 ball, I need to be aware of the 3 ball pocket line. The goal is to end up on the pocket line or below the pocket line, since I'll be playing the 4 ball in the bottom side pocket. In this layout, the 2 issues are getting from the 2 to the 3 and the 4 to the 5. When pocketing the 1 ball, I need to create an angle on the 2 ball that will send the cue ball off both side rails for my shape on the 3 ball. When I pocket the 3 ball, I need to create an angle on the 4 ball that will send the cue ball 3 to 4 rails for my shape on the 5 ball. In this pattern, the key shot is creating an angle on the 4 ball that will send the cue ball off both side rails for shaping the 5 ball. My goal when pocketing the 1 ball is to cross the 2 ball pocket line. From here I can stun the cue ball between the blocker balls, creating a nice 2 rail angle that will send the cue ball toward the 4 ball at the angle I need to gain shape for the 5 ball. Here is the first 6 ball pattern. In this pattern I have an issue getting from the 3 ball to the 4 ball. It looks like I'll have to go 2 rails for position on the 4 ball. When going 2 rails like this, you really need to find a number target on the 2nd rail to send the cue ball toward. If I can send the cue ball toward the 3rd diamond, the cue ball should head to my position area for the 4 ball. When I shoot the 1 ball, I'm going to make sure I end up on or very close to the 2 ball pocket line. At this angle, I can go 2 rails for position on the 5 ball. If the cue ball ended up straight in, I could have drawn the cue ball back to the side rail for shaping the 5 ball. The key in this pattern is creating an angle in the 2 ball that will send the cue ball toward the 3 ball. An angle like this on the 1 ball will send the cue ball toward the 3rd diamond, which should give me a nice angle on the 2 ball. Once I'm on the 3 ball, I'll keep the cue ball in the same area and pocket the 4 following the cue ball down to the end rail. At this angle, I can softly roll in the 5 ball, sending the cue ball 2 rails for the 6 ball. In this pattern, the key is getting on or close to the 2 ball pocket line for the side pocket. Once I'm on the 2 ball, I can create a nice rolling angle to get on the 4 ball. When I shoot the 3 ball, I need to make sure the cue ball lands on or above the 4 ball pocket line. When I shoot the 4 ball, I need to stay above the 5 ball pocket line. In this pattern, the 2 key shots are getting from the 2 ball to the 3 ball and getting from the 5 to the 6. If I can pocket the 1 ball and cross the 2 ball pocket line, I can stun the cue ball over to the side rail for shape on the 3 ball. Before I shoot the 3 ball, I'll decide where I need to be for the 5 ball. A high angle like this will send the cue ball 4 rails for position on the 6 ball for the side pocket. In this pattern there are two issues, getting from the 3 to the 4 and getting from the 4 ball to the 5 ball. If I can end up here in the 2 ball, I can send the cue ball around the 3 ball, creating an angle I can use to send the cue ball toward the bottom side rail for shape on the 4 ball. Once I'm on the 4 ball, I just need to send the cue ball to the other half of the table for shape on the 5 ball. In this pattern, the key shot is getting from the 3 ball to the 4 ball. If I can end up here, I can softly roll in the 3 ball and send the cue ball to the top side rail for shape on the 4 ball. When I pocket the 1 ball, I need to cross the 2 ball pocket line. At this angle, I can softly roll in the 2 ball, sending the cue ball to the end rail. When I shoot the 3 ball, I need to make sure the cue ball lands on or slightly above the 4 ball pocket line. When I shoot the 4 ball, I need to make sure I stay above the 5 ball pocket line. In this layout, the key shot is getting from the 2 ball to the 3 ball. If I can end up near the 2 ball pocket line, I can draw the cue ball back for a high angle on the 3 ball. I could pocket the 1 ball and roll forward, sending the cue ball near the 2 ball pocket line, but if I end up in this area, I'll have to shoot over the blocker ball. A good option here to get the correct angle on the 2 ball is to send the cue ball toward the blocker ball. At this angle on the 3 ball, I'll be able to roll in the 3 and send the cue ball 2 rails toward the 4 ball. In this pattern, the key is getting on the 2 ball. I could play for the 2 in the side pocket, but a better option is to pocket the 1 ball and draw the cue ball between the 6 ball and blocker ball. This will put me near the 2 ball pocket line where I can kill the cue ball, giving me an angle in the 3 ball that I can use to get on the 4 ball. In this layout, the key shot is getting from the 3 ball to the 4 ball. When I shoot the 4 ball, I need to make sure that I end up on the left side of the 5 ball pocket line. At this angle, I can stun the cue ball to the bottom side rail for the 6 ball. In this pattern, I may have an issue going from the 5 ball to the 6 ball. If I can end up here in the 4 ball, I'll be able to go 2 rails crossing the 5 ball pocket line, which will give me the angle I'm going to need on the 5 ball. If we look at the 2 and 3 ball, if I can pocket the 1 ball and land on or near the 2 ball pocket line, I can kill the cue ball, leaving me on the 3 ball, which should make it easy for me to create my angle on the 4 ball. In this pattern, the key is getting to the middle of the table for the 3 ball. From here, I can stun the cue ball around the 5 ball to end up on the 4 ball. A high angle on the 2 ball will send the cue ball to my position area for the 3 ball. Ending up near the 5 ball pocket line will allow me to kill the cue ball, leaving me on the 6 ball. In this pattern, everything is out in the open, but getting from the 1 ball to the 2 ball is a little tricky. But if I examine the tangent line of the 1 ball, I can see that it will send the cue ball toward the bottom side rail for shape on the 2 ball. Once I'm on the 2 ball, I need to send the cue ball toward the 3 ball pocket line. On this shot, if I can draw back creating a flat angle in the 5 ball, I can stun the cue ball around the 6 ball. In this layout, the key is pocketing the 1 ball and 2 ball and ending up on the 3 ball pocket line for either corner pocket. So when I shoot the 1 ball, I'm going to roll forward, sending the cue ball near the 2 ball pocket line. Ideally, I would like the cue ball to cross the line, which will give me the angle I can use to get on the 3 ball. Once I'm on the 3 ball, I don't need to do too much to create my position on the 4 ball. At this angle, I can send the cue ball off the side rail for shaping the 5 ball. In this layout, the key shot is getting from the 3 ball to the 4 ball. My goal when shooting the 1 ball and 2 ball is to end up in the middle of the table for the 3 ball. At this angle, I can pocket the 3 and go 2 rails for the 4 ball in the side pocket. In this pattern, the key shot is getting from the 2 ball to the 3 ball. I could roll forward and land on the 2 ball pocket line, but ending up a little short of the line will leave me in an awkward position. Instead, I'm going to follow the cue ball off the side rail. Playing shape this way opens up my position area for the 2 ball. When I shoot the 3 ball, my goal is to send the cue ball to the bottom side rail. At this angle, I can roll on the 4 ball, which will give me the angle I can use on the 5 ball to get on the 6 ball. The key shot here is getting from the 3 ball to the 4 ball. If we examine the 2 ball, we can see that it's connected to the 3 ball, which means if we can pocket the 1 ball and end up straight in on the 2 ball, we can keep this same angle on the 3 ball, which I can use to send the cue ball 2 rails for the 4 ball. If I can pocket the 3 ball and send the cue ball to the top side rail, crossing the 4 ball pocket line, I'll have an angle I can use to go 2 rails for the 5 ball in the side pocket. Here I've ended up too close to the pocket line, but if I can draw the cue ball back to the side rail close to the 5 ball pocket line, I should have an angle I can use to get on the 6 ball. In this pattern, the key shot is getting from the 3 ball to the 4 ball. If I can end up near the end rail, I can softly roll in the 3 ball and go 2 rails for my position on the 4 ball. An angle like this on the 2 ball will send the cue ball to the end rail, giving me my position. At this angle, I can pocket the 4 ball and send the cue ball into the 6 ball, giving me my shape on the 5 ball. In this pattern, the key to the run out is getting on the correct side of the 4 ball, which will give me the angle I'm going to need to go 3 rails for the 5 ball. When I pocket the 1 and 2 ball, I need to create a slight angle in the 3 ball that I can use to send the cue ball to the bottom side rail.